feel like we're bearing all today on this podcast. I'm being too honest. I'm just like talking shit about everything.
As long as you say not to be a hater, you're not a hater. That's my rule.
Exactly. That's a motto to live by, really. Welcome back to Not to Be a Hater podcast. Hi,
That was
Ryan.
so
How are you?
that was great. That intro, Julie. That was so ASMR. I was like, oh, I am doing good. I have the most horrible cold ever, but we're going to get there. We're going to get through it. Need to do it for the listeners.
Always for the listeners. It's like, what was that thing a few years ago? A few years ago, probably like a decade ago. It was like, do it for the vine. It's like, we do it for the listeners. Should we just jump straight in to it?
Yeah, we just jump in.
Okay, so update on Dune, the movie. We talked about this on the
It's
first episode of
fun.
the podcast,
Yeah, first
and that was a
episode.
that was the first topic that we actually spoke about on the podcast.
Yeah, first episode, our
So
first
I feel like
topic.
we need
Yeah.
to kind of close the circle, give an update. So the movie came out a few weeks ago, just before our first or
hmm
just after our first episode came out, and I have seen it 4 times in cinema already,
Wow.
and I love it. I love it so much. So that's my main
Yeah,
update.
there's a time where I was saying to Julia, like, I was just like, you're obsessed with that movie. Like, you won't stop going see it. You won't stop to go and see it. Are you
No,
okay?
I am obsessed.
I was like, what are you doing today? And she's like, oh, I'm going to the cinema. And I was like, June. She was like, yeah.
No, I am like fully in it. Like, I don't know. Like, obviously, you're not super into films, and I don't know if any of our listeners are. But as
Yeah.
like someone who is majorly into movies, I am obsessed with this film. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just completely gripped me.
I have an idea of what it is. I think it's Timothy. That I think that is the this is the catalyst of this.
That is, I was going to talk about Timothy today, actually. I was going to just give a brief update on Dune and then talk about my complete obsession that I've fallen into with Timothée Chalamet. But anyway, so the movie, very good. Love it. If you guys haven't seen it, watch part one. It's on Netflix. Watch part two in cinema as well. It's still there.
Was it on Netflix? I might actually give it a watch. Like, I'm being completely serious. I might actually give
I
it a
think you
watch and
should.
just see what it's like.
I think they're both really great films. I have such an emotional attachment to the first one because I like
Hmm.
it came out a few years ago and I didn't think I was gonna like it because I'm not the biggest like sci-fi fan, but I loved
Yeah.
it partly because of Timothy, but partly because it's a really good film. And then
hmm
I waited 2 years for this one. And I am obsessed. Although I've told you this story, Ryan, but when I went to see Dune Part 2 for the first time, I went
Oh
to see it in
yeah.
IMAX and halfway through the film, or like not even halfway through, I think it was like an hour or so into the film, during a really intense moment, we were evacuated from the IMAX because someone was vaping in the bathroom. And I was like, not to be a hater, but
Oh
this
my
has
god.
ruined my day. So that was not ideal, but it's still a
Yeah.
great film.
That is horrible, especially when you're getting into it
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, like I'm pure getting into this, like it's going to be really good, and then you hear that noise and you're like,
No, it
what
was really
the fuck?
scary actually, but
Help.
yeah. Yeah. Good film. Really enjoy it. Do recommend it. All of our listeners, if you haven't seen it, go see it. Read the book as well. I read the book in 2 weeks. It's a massive book. It's
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, I remember you were telling me that
600
you were
pages
reading it.
long or something, but I loved it. It was so good. I recommend the audiobook and the book as well. Like, amazing.
Yeah, I could fuck with the audiobook. Like I just can't like I can't sit down and read it. It's my ADHD brain, like I just can't do it. But the audiobook I could totally give a listen to.
Yeah.
I feel as if that's kind of like a podcast.
Yeah,
So
kind of.
guys, listen to us instead of June. That's I know Julie's telling you to go and listen to it, but like
Listen to
equally
both.
listen to us as well. Yeah, listen to both, yeah.
But yeah, so that's been like one of my like biggest obsessions this month, and part of that is Timothy Chalamet. Love him. Yeah, I
Love
don't even know
him.
where to get started, but it's like I have been a big fan of him like maybe since 2017, 2016. I don't like years now,
Yeah.
and he's been like
hmm
my white boy of the month for years and years and years. And then
White boy of the year.
a few
Love
months
that.
ago I was sort of like, oh, like he's not all that. Like he's with Kylie Jenner and that sucks and like I don't like her and stuff. I was like, Timothy is over party. And then Wonka came out, and I really enjoyed that. And then Dune Part 2 came out, and I was
See,
like,
I watched
hang on.
Wonka and I thought it was it was good, but it was on in the background, and I was kind of like, what is happening? I probably, if I gave it a watch again, I would enjoy it, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about Wonka. It's kind of musical. I cannot speak today.
It
Musically.
is a musical, yeah.
Oh, is it right? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I must have missed that detail, but yeah, I don't know how I feel
Yeah,
about
I
it.
don't. I think I enjoyed it so much because of Timothy.
Yeah.
Like, he really made it what it is, and he's just like, he's such a star. And
Mm.
recently, he broke the record. I don't know if you heard about this, but he's broken the record for the first time in like 45 years of being a lead actor with two like massive films in the box office
Oh my
within
God.
like a certain space of time. So I think the only people in history that hold that record is him and John Travolta from like
God.
the 70s. So that
That's
was quite
crazy.
impressive, quite a big thing for him, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, love that
But
for
yeah,
him.
I
He's
am
slim.
fully in my Timothy obsession. My TikTok is just like Timothée Chalamet edits and just photos of him. He's filming another movie in New York at the moment, actually.
Mm.
So all of my Instagram and TikTok is just like pictures of him like on set. So yeah, it's a big time for the Timothy girlies, and I'm
Their
loving it.
time to
I don't
shine.
know what it is about him. I don't know what it is. I just
No,
he's so
I
charming, so
get that.
charismatic.
Yeah, I get that totally. Talking about white boys of the month, Harry Styles.
Oh
Now,
no,
this is kind of going into hot topics. Yeah, Julia's like, fuck off, Ryan.
not to be a hater, but I am not the biggest fan of Harry Styles. But
Yeah,
I will hear you out on what you're gonna
yeah,
say.
Julia's not a fan of Harry, but this is like hot off the press. He's rumoured to be releasing Harry Styles 4, his new album, and apparently it's going to be like rock, which I don't know how I feel about that because I don't know, Harry's House was just such a good album. Whenever I hear of that, like, it just takes me back to summer. Like, I have no idea why I have this association. I think all the Harry girlies have this as well. But when you hear it and you're just like, oh my god, take me back to summer when it's like roasting. And yeah, also, I went and seen him twice when he was here in Scotland and it was just amazing. No, I will say though, I was at Harry Styles Night 1 in Edinburgh. We got robbed. We got robbed, which I'm like still kind of annoyed at
How
him for it.
come?
Like I don't think I can.
Do you mean you actually got robbed? Like you got
We
mugged?
never got robbed, but it was so much like more like lively and all that at like night two,
Okay.
and we were at night one, and he was fine. Like he was really good at night one, but it was a lot more like lively. It was like pure interacting with the crowd. Yeah, so yeah, I'm still a bit annoyed at that, but like take me back to when Harry's House first came out and I was in Ibrox Stadium listening to it. I was so good. It
That's
was unreal.
nice. What do you think
Um,
of his hair?
but
What's
yeah,
going on with his
apparently,
hair?
God, don't get me started on that. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I seen a TikTok and it was like the curls are coming back and it was like one curl and I was like, girl, you are so delusional, but we love that for you. Um, yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about his hair. I'm kind of indifferent about it. I feel as if like he looks good. He can pull anything off, to be honest.
I disagree.
Do you disagree? What do you think about it?
Because I'll see pictures like every so often of him because I really like Taylor Russell, who he's dating at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'll, like see pictures
Mm.
of her and he's in the background with his like fucked up low hair, and I'm like, she looks amazing, and he is there. And also like another thing about that situation. So like a few years ago, Taylor Russell and Timothée Chalamet were in a film
Mm-hmm.
together, which I adore as well. And there were rumors that like Timothy had a massive crush on Taylor, but that she didn't like him.
Mm.
And then suddenly she started dating Harry Styles, and it was like, whoa, what's going on there?
Whoa.
Because
Yeah.
they're like, I feel like they get compared quite often, and they like interviewed each other like a few years
Yeah.
ago as well. And like, I don't know, I feel like it's interesting how she didn't go for Timothy, but she went for
Yeah.
Harry. Bad choice, in my opinion, but that's just
I was
me.
going to say good choice. That's how. Yeah. That's how we're different. I also have another hot topic just quickly on. We're sort of talking about music. Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Julia's like, Kill me now. This is the worst episode in history.
This is going to be about the new
Um,
album, isn't
so
it?
Beyonce,
Yeah.
yeah. So Act Two is being released on Friday. I literally just sent Julia a TikTok 2 minutes before we started this episode. It was like that TikTok sound. It's like, what are you doing this weekend? It's like Beyonce. That is going to be me this weekend. I
I might give
cannot
it a
wait. I am
listen.
so excited. Please give it a
I
listen.
might give it a listen to see what the hype is about.
You need to also listen. Have you listened to Renaissance?
Not really, no. I might have
Like
like
full way through?
listened to like a song or two or like heard it on TikTok or in
Mm,
passing. But I might need
it's
to
oh,
dive in.
that is the only one album I can listen to. I have listened to that album, and I'm not even exaggerating, for about 2 years straight. Like whenever I'm driving, whenever I'm going to like college,
Well,
whenever I'm
that's me
going
with
like
Taylor
anywhere, I'm
Swift.
like Beyonce Renaissance.
So I get
Yeah,
it. I get it.
like I just can't. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just put that on again, and I never get sick of the songs. I'm just like, oh my god, this sounds as if I'm listening to this for the first time ever, and I feel as if her music is so timeless.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, I'm the biggest. Oh god, I can't even comprehend how much I love Beyonce. Like, she is the best. So yeah, I'm going to give a little bit about her album. Apparently, is so she released a big statement on Instagram. We were in college when we were talking about that. Yeah, I was fangirling.
The freak out that happened. It was like, oh my god, what happened? Who died?
Yeah.
And I was like, you Beyonce album coming. Basically, that's my imitation of you.
Yeah, so the album is 5 years in the making. So apparently it was like born out of an experience where she didn't feel welcome. So everybody's saying that it was the CMA Awards. So if you don't know what the CMA Awards are, it's the Country Music Association, and the crowd were horrible to her. Like obviously with her being like a black artist and all the rest of it, she was like, she was just really wasn't welcome. So you can see like on the clip, like the cameras were scanning the crowd. Like some people, don't get me wrong, were like loving it, like absolutely living for it. But others were like just standing with blank faces, like really offended that she would obviously perform at a country music awards when she's like a pop
Hmm.
artist.
I feel like country and pop though are quite not synonymous, but I feel like they kind of go
No,
well.
yeah,
And there's a proper like journey from like for a
mm-hmm,
lot of artists going from pop to country or country to pop. Like Taylor
yeah.
Swift, for example, like she started in country.
And then yeah,
So
moved their way up.
yeah,
Or whatever way. I don't know if you would call it up, like moved their way around probably because they're kind of around the same thing.
yeah.
But there was, yeah, apparently it was born out of that experience, and also because she is a black artist, apparently there was like quite a lot of like racism in the crowd. Obviously, I mean you can probably tell, guys, if you've watched the clip, it's really uncomfortable to watch some scenes because it's like people are just standing with like blank faces, like looking at her like, why are you here? What are you doing here? Like you don't sort of belong here. And yeah, everybody's saying that that is what Act Two is based on, this like one event, and also how she's been
Hmm.
treated throughout her musical career. Obviously, being like a really powerful black artist, and how like she's breaking like all those glass ceilings down, like all that. So yeah, she's. I'm so excited to listen to it and give it a listen and just see what it's going, because it's going to be so different from Renaissance, because Renaissance is a house album and this one is country. So yeah, I'll need to get my cowboy hat out and listen. And apparently Dolly's collabing on it, which is iconic. I can't wait.
That's
I'm so
cool.
excited.
I hope
Oh,
that
I'm so
happens
excited.
because I'd like to
Yeah.
hear that. But I feel like all of the girlies, all the pop girlies, are going to country now. Because didn't
Mm.
Lana Del Rey announced like a few months ago
Yeah.
that she's doing a country album, and it's supposed to be out this year or whatever, but
Mm.
probably won't be. And then I feel like Taylor Swift should circle back to country. Because I
Yeah.
mean, debut Taylor's version is imminent. It's gonna come out in the next few years, possibly.
Hmm.
I feel like there's a real switch to country, and that's interesting. I wonder, like, obviously, country is very American, and I wonder if that's quite like a patriotic sort of thing that's
Mm.
going on with the political scene there. But not to get too deep, but yeah,
No,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
interesting. But I might give Beyonce a listen this week. I have an update on the other Queen of Pop, so Taylor Swift. So
Slay.
last episode, I
Mm.
talked about the different variants that are coming out of the albums and stuff, and I think at the time I said there was three variants and possibly five were going to be released in total.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
there are only four variants. So there's I don't even remember the names of them, but is basically like the white one, the grey one, the beige one, and the black one.
Yeah.
That's all I remember from the variants. And I feel like the hype for that album has really died down. So the variant, so there's only 4 variants. Everyone thought it was going to be 5. They were a limited edition, only
Yeah,
available for like
yeah,
a limited amount of time, only a few days, and people are like we have to buy this because it's never going to come back. They came back to
yeah.
in stock the other day. These limited
Stop.
edition
Oh my
albums
god.
were available in the web store yet again, and people predicted this, but people are still like mad in the comments. Like, I mean, yeah. So that's a little update on our capitalist queen, and
Making those
she was
coins.
seen out yesterday at Nobu with Travis.
Oh,
So
slay.
yeah,
We love that for
so that's my
her.
little Taylor Swift update. I feel like I'm gonna have to give a Taylor Swift update
No,
every
that's fine.
time we do an
I
episode.
because I mean it keeps me in the loop with Taylor Swift, and I'm like that's slay. So yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, do you think that Taylor is going to be featured on Beyonce's new
I've seen a
album?
few TikToks about it, and I don't think she will. She might be, but I think I'm in like a 50-50 mind about it because I think it would be cool if like it works and it like sounds good. But if Beyonce's just doing it because she's huge at the minute, because I would say Taylor Swift and Beyonce are kind of like on the same sort of like ranking each other. I actually googled this the other day, and
Yeah.
apparently Taylor Swift is bigger than Beyonce, which I was surprised at because obviously Beyonce.
Yeah, I was going to say that I
Hmm.
do think that Taylor Swift is bigger like globally, but
Yeah.
I think Beyonce is possibly more impactful because she's been around for longer.
Hmm.
But I don't know, they've been like hanging out and stuff. Or not hanging out, but they were seen together at like their movie
Yeah.
premieres over the
Premiere.
past few
Yeah.
months and stuff. And like as I said, Taylor was obviously a big country
Hmm.
person. So I don't know. It would be interesting. It would be like the fandoms coming together. It's
Yeah.
really quite cool
God,
to
can you
see.
imagine? That'd be like, oh God. Yeah, some Beyonce fans are so over the top, but I mean, it's the same way. We have touched on this, so I'm not going to go on a fucking deep dive again about this, but like, fandoms can get so serious, and you're just like, girl, just enjoy the music, like, stop. Okay, so you need to give us an update on the road stuff. I've been like waiting for this because me and Julia haven't like spoke about this like in depth. We were keeping it for the podcast, so how is it?
Yeah, so I got my road stuff. I don't know when it came in the mail because last episode came out like way after I'd placed the order and stuff. But I think it took like
Hmm,
two
yeah.
weeks to get here, which I would say is quite long shipping for most
That's not
things.
bad. Yeah.
I think I was so excited that I was.
Have they got like a distribution? Have they got like a distribution like in the UK, or does it like ship from
I
like
think
the
it's coming from the
US?
US. So it's understandable that it takes a
Oh yeah,
while,
that's
but
good. Like
I
two
was so
weeks.
excited that I was constantly checking like the tracking, like, where's my package? And then it eventually came and I was a bit skeptical. I opened it and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be as good as I want it to be. And
Mm,
then I started trying it and I really like the stuff. It's really good.
that's good. Oh my god,
It's
love
like,
that.
I don't know. I really did think that I would come back to you guys and be like, the marketing is amazing. They've got like all this hype behind them, but the
Hmm.
products are terrible. They're not good, but they really are nice. I really
So it's
like
a full
them.
experience then. Their
Yeah,
marketing, everything. Oh, that's good that their products are good. There's nothing worse than getting a product and it's
yeah.
horrible.
So I am using the products today. I used the glazing milk this morning, which I still don't fully know what it is,
I was going to
and
ask
I
that.
am
What is
convinced
that?
it's got actual milk in it.
Oh,
Because I swear, like when I put it on my face, it smells slightly of milk. I don't think it actually has milk in it, but it just makes me think of
ah,
milk.
yeah.
I feel very fancy using it. I like tap it onto my skin, onto my face, and I look glowy and
Look away,
nice.
yeah.
And the lip balms are amazing. The lip balms are so good.
Are they good?
They're like worth the hype. I'm looking at my little pot
Mm,
of lip balms on my desk, and like I'm seeing the Glossier one, which I love. I'm seeing the Summer Fridays one, which I used to love, but now the Rhodes ones have surpassed those. They're so much
they have
better.
overtook, yeah.
Although I would say the whole drama of some of the lip balms being grainy, one of mine is grainy. I got three.
Oh,
So I got the unscented one, and that one is perfectly fine. It's not grainy at all. It's
mm-hmm.
amazing. My favorite one. I've got the tinted one in Color Toast. That one, I think the formula is even better than the non tinted ones, to be honest, and it's not grainy at all. It's
Yeah.
amazing. But then the salted caramel one that's not tinted, it's so grainy and it's got such a horrible taste that I've just not been using it. So that's my
Mm,
like quick review there, but I'll like honestly the products are amazing overall,
that's good.
and
We love
I'm gonna
that.
place another order soon, I think,
Oh,
to
fun.
try some more of the lip tints and stuff because I don't know, I'm fully sucked into the
Have you
hype.
got the phone case yet?
No, but I'm on the waiting list. I'm gonna get it soon. Yeah, because yeah,
I was going to say that because Julia got a new phone,
yeah, exposing me here.
and obviously Julia was saying that it didn't fit her old phone. But yeah, that's good. We love that.
Yeah, I just want to be like a cool girl. I want to have the cool
Cool girly.
case and put my little lip balm in there, and I don't
Yeah.
know, I feel really cool using the lip balms as well. So like
Mm,
I don't know, the marketing is working for me, the products are also working for me, and honestly they are really good. I do really like them. I like the applicator, I like the formulas. Yeah, I might do like a full ranking or like a full review in my Instagram of the products, but they're good. But it's really nice because it's like obviously the marketing is so great, and we talked about it in the last
hmm.
episode how I was so impressed and so like taken by this, mostly because of the phone case. Like that really grabbed my attention,
Yeah.
and then to actually try the products and be like, wow, okay, they are worth the hype, and I shouldn't have been a hater for so long because I was missing out.
Because you were
So I'm
missing out.
glad
There
I
we
got
go.
to try them.
The the moral of the story is Julia is a hater until she gets something and then she's like, love it.
Yep.
Oh, that's
So that's
funny.
my update on Road. I hope you guys love that.
Love that. Thank you guys so much for listening to Not to Be a Hater. I know this was quite, yeah, it was a good, I think this was one of the best episodes yet. I'm not going to lie, for the stuff our topics were really good. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. Tune in the next couple of weeks because we've got some other good stuff coming up. Follow us on socials, Not to Be a Hater Pod. Listen on YouTube, Spotify, whatever you're listening. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys.